Hey Marissa, we're live.
Hey, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. It's been a while
It has
before the
been.
pandemic.
I feel like you right before it was you were like the first Tint Wisdom guest or the second Tint Wisdom guest, and then
Yeah.
it was sometime right before the world started to end.
Yeah, literally. It's been a wild year. I think it's taught us it's definitely taught me to just be like more thankful of like small things, you know? Um like going to get coffee or just like as simple as like going for a walk without that awkward like walking past a person, are we 6 feet
Hmm.
apart
Yeah,
vibe. But um yeah, like it's been good. Like I think I mean our industry is crazy busy, so that's good. And there's a lot of jobs where you can work from home now, so I'm
right,
working from home. Can't complain about that. So yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm always a big believer in that. Like, you're as far as I know, like I see your presence online. So to me, in my mind, you're an online rep for your company, ExoShield. So like that's my perception. Now, if you're going in person to places, I obviously
Mhm.
don't know because I'm not a dealer. However, I see the impact you're able to make, and like there's others in the industry like Dean and comes to mind, and I
Mhm.
mean there's plenty more. I don't want to make a list and skip anybody, but point being, like that is to me the future. I don't doubt it, and I just think that what we just all
Mhm.
went are going through just gave everybody a kick in the butt. That's all. It just said, hey, get with
Yeah.
it because this is actually going to happen, and you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
take 10 years to figure it out. You're going to have to do it like next month if you want to survive.
Yeah. And like I think like I've done tours through shops, and I've done my the biggest one that I did was through Texas, which I love. I love that state. I love Texas. It's Everyone is so nice and the food is so good, and even though the drives between,
Right.
Houston and Austin and then Dallas and stuff are very long, it's beautiful. Um and I think that there's an importance of an in-person presence, especially in this industry, because I feel like relationship building is really the foundation of it. But I'm with you on that. I do think a lot of it can be done remotely. Not obviously like sometimes different like in-person trainings obviously are very valuable, but even then, like we launched online training, and it's been really successful. So it's definitely the way of the future, and I hope that more companies start to think of different ways that they can go online, like that they can effectively help more people with everything that they're doing in their day to day, whether that be uh, sales support, marketing support, installation support, customer success, anything. Like there's enough programs. Like obviously,
Yeah.
Tintwiz is a fantastic program. There's enough programs and software out there now, and enough smart people that I think we can make it happen.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it was Dean. Somebody had commented maybe like 3 weeks ago that
Mhm.
he had helped them through like FaceTime to tint a window, right? It was him, I believe, right?
Yes.
But and if you think about it, like if the only difference between you learning from him through FaceTime or in person, if he never, let's assume in person he doesn't physically touch you in any way, he does not touch you.
Mhm.
If he doesn't touch you, then he can show you the same example of him doing it through the phone, and he can
Mhm.
watch you and tell you what you're doing wrong through the phone. So I'm assuming he wouldn't touch me if I was training with him. So I think I could get an equal training through the video, unless he literally
No,
like
it's so true.
what I mean by that, unless it's like a
Yeah.
golf swing where you grab somebody's arm and you show them the swing. But
Right.
I don't think you need that.
Yeah.
So I
No.
think it's as much resistance as there is from some people to online training. I think it's effective.
Yeah, I'm actually like thinking about if any time that I've been training somebody on ExoShield, I've touched them, and I don't think so. think I think I've always kept my distance, mostly just because like I've been burned by heat guns. I think that's like people talk about it all the time. I think it's a rite of passage to get burnt by a heat gun.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like I've done those FaceTime, Google Hangouts, Skype sessions for some tough installs, and it's always so funny because sometimes like actually a lot of the time shops don't tend to have like a really good Wi-Fi connection. I think it might be just because they're normally made out of like, I don't know, cement or something. I don't know. Just the
No,
connection's
it's not
usually
because of that. Because
crappy.
the Wi-Fi is inside. It's a router inside the
Oh
shop.
yeah, that's
It's
so
because
true.
they don't
Yeah.
like
No, I
learn
should
how to
know
do that.
that. But yeah, I know sometimes the internet connection hasn't been great, and it's been like you're looking at your screen or your phone and you're like so close to it because you're trying to see like what the fingers are doing. But
It's like watching Showtime 20 years ago. If you
yeah,
didn't have Showtime,
exactly. But yeah, you know what? Like I've effectively taught people how to install. I've taught paint protection film installers how to install ExoShield through a video call. Um, but I get it really depends on the person. Like to be honest with you, I learned better when I was side by side with one of our trainers. So I guess everybody's different, and I think it's still important to have that balance. But when obviously when things like this happen, where there's like a pandemic and 2020 is and it happens that you need to be able to adapt to it. That's just
right,
how it is, right?
right. So one of the, this is topic of the day. This is a
Mm-hmm.
window film revolution roundtable,
Mm-hmm.
and so window film revolution to kind of bring it into that conversation, like if like previously everybody's at work and like you're checking your phones kind of in between things here and there, and then right when that happened, where does everybody go, wondering about
Mm-hmm.
what's next and like what to do and what are other shops doing and so on. Like it's like a mass flood into the groups. I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
traffic goes way up,
Yeah.
and that is one of those times where like maybe you take groups for granted, but when shit goes down, you want to get with your group and kind of hear what other people are doing and you know
Mm-hmm.
navigate the waters. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
so. I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, do you like you as a rep from ExoShield? Do you like you see that increased value within the groups? Like, are you part of other groups? How much are groups?
Oh,
I guess a big part of your day to day in
yeah.
networking.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Value of Facebook groups. Huge.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, like I posted about this on Monday in my motivational Monday post about the value of community, and I think that that really that really hit home and really came to light in the past like few months through this pandemic. I've seen more people posting about tough back windows maybe that they're having with tint or any of the new vehicles that are coming out like the new Toyota Land Cruiser. I saw a paint protection film post about that recently, and I've noticed that there's been a lot more acceptance of people posting and asking for help, especially within Window Film Revolution. I don't. I do like follow the other Facebook groups, but because I'm a moderator and a leader for Window Film Revolution, I definitely follow this one more. But I've definitely noticed an influx of people talking about so like installation, how business is going, talking about how they're experiencing massive amounts of customers, talking about hey like what kind of like payment or CRM systems are you guys using, and just really trying to reach out to peers in a time where I think everybody is a little uncertain. And it's probably really comforting to look at it and know, like, okay, yeah, like I'm slammed, I'm booked out 5 weeks in advance, 6 weeks in advance. I can't, talking about how they can't get people to work or they're short staffed.
Hmm.
Like, I think that's comforting to see that there are other people all over, not even like the USA or Canada, but all over the world that are experiencing the same type of thing that you're experiencing. And I've seen a lot more friendships come out of it too lately, which I mean I know that this industry is so small even though it's so big, but I think it's pretty cool to, maybe have like a friend in like Belgium or something that knows some cool like window tint trick that you've never known. And then, you guys met through this pandemic because you're both online. And then maybe next year if SEMA happens or WFCT or something, you're able to meet that person.
Right.
So yeah, like I've definitely seen an increase of interaction. And I mean, there's tons and tons of statistics that have shown how much more people are on their phones. Like anybody that does ad spend knows that right
Right.
now. So it's definitely there. And I hope that it forces, like we were talking about, like just before this, like I hope it forces companies to realize the value and the power of not only being online, but social media if it's used effectively and positively.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now's the time to pick it up and learn it. Have you, you had, I think I remember you saying you had training classes planned, like actual in-person planned. Like those haven't gone down, I imagine, or are they starting back
No,
up or
not
no?
yet. Not yet. We've started to, we've started to make plans to safely open training again. We have we're so grateful. We have a lot of really cool, kick-ass people across the Canada and the US now that are training for ExoShield. A lot of people that I they blow my mind every day, not just with ExoShield, but with all of the film and installations that they do and detailing coatings, whatever. So we're very fortunate there. Hopefully, we're going to be releasing, a schedule or any correspondence around training end of September, beginning of October. That's the goal. But we're always monitoring, right? Like we want to make sure that it's safe for everybody to do so. So that's what we're basically banking on right now is just getting it started because like it can't be online only exclusively.
Mhm.
I think the fundamentals of training can be online, but I think that sometimes when you have more complicated installations, it's always nice to be able to be like one-on-one with a trainer. um, not saying that it can't be done online, but it's just what I've seen in the industry is that more complicated, like advanced level paint protection, film tint, ExoShield, whatever.
Yeah.
People tend to enjoy the in-person experience more.
And okay, so if somebody wants to carry ExoShield, they contact you. If nobody's in their territory and they have a shop that meets the requirements, they can carry it, right? Like they don't have to go
Yeah.
to training, right?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah, so we have like two different avenues to be certified with ExoShield. So there's the online training avenue and the in-person training avenue. You're more than welcome to try either. We also always have the option of if you go the if you go the online training route and then it just doesn't work for you, like you thought you were going to be like it was going to come too easier, or you just want some more like some one-on-one time with a trainer, you're more than welcome to sign up for a session. We're not going to be like, oh no, sorry, you chose this one.
Right.
You're not allowed. So
And the online
uh,
training is completely like are you talking to somebody on a video, like, or is it like pre-recorded?
it's pre-recorded.
Okay.
So our master trainer, Mike, he is based out of Canada, and myself take you through a beginning to end installation on an M3 competition. We really talk about the fundamentals of installing. Mike is amazing. He's been training film for probably as long as I've been alive. So he's definitely seasoned. But anybody that does ExoShield Academy can stop and start whenever they choose to. They can go back and refer to modules. So it's nice because what I find happens is people will watch the whole thing
Hmm.
and then like just sitting at home or in their office or whatever, and then when they'll go back through it with a car, and then I think they feel like obviously they understand it a little bit more. So that's the installing ExoShield portion of it. We did just recently launch our first sales course. So it's talking about fleets and how to close them. So it's a whole presentation that takes you through basically how to sell the fleets, how to find them, how to present or how to make like a proposal package for them. And then it also comes with a whole presentation that you can plug your numbers into and take to that fleet to show them, which is really cool. We're pretty proud about that. So
Nice.
yeah.
Is it something you pay for, the course?
So the ExoShield Academy is available for free to anybody that becomes an ExoShield partner.
Okay.
Um, and then the in-person training classes range in price depending on if you're doing like a private session or if you're attending one that's already hosted. And anybody that's interested in that can get in contact with me, and I can explain the different options for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for ways to improve your business, if for whatever reason you're shut down right now, this is sounds like a good way to spend
Yeah.
some time.
We spent a lot of time getting
So
ExoShield Academy together. It was a long, very long day of filming. We originally wanted to release it in June, but we moved it up to the end of March and got it out. So it
nice.
was crazy.
Nice, but it was worth it because now you can just use it
100%.
over and over and over for as
Oh, yeah.
long as needed. So, and then well, I guess you would want to have some material. I guess you could watch the videos first, then get the material, then watch the videos again, and do it,
Yeah.
right? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. We include training film with every new customer order.
Okay.
So yeah, we include 18 feet of training film, which is enough to do about 3 windshields. And we always have extra training film that you can purchase.
Hmm.
We always make sure that we have lots in stock, so you can get their hands on it before they start touching production film.
Yeah, that's really cool. I actually just bought a new vehicle, and
Ooh.
it had it had like 200 miles on it. So it was one of
Hmm.
those that like it got a little driving, but it was like still not
Hmm.
titled. And I left the dealer, and we were like 10 minutes away. And we're like, "What the fuck is that on the windshield? Is that a crack or a bug? Is that a crack or a bug?" And like you're wiping it and you're touching it, and then you're like, "It's a crack. There's a crack on the windshield.
No.
Damn it!"
Mhm.
So we went back to the dealer, and they were like, "Yeah, it's definitely a crack." Like they didn't try to blame it on me or anything, and they were like, we'll get the it replaced." Now, in the
Mhm.
meantime, I don't remember exactly why I went by a safe light, and I was like, "Hey, can you guys fill this? If you fill this, like, what do you think?" And they were
Yeah.
like, "Well, looks like somebody had tried to fill it before." And anyway, what they had said was, "Why bother? It's probably not going to crack anymore. It's going to keep happening." Um,
Mhm.
so at that moment, I thought, why did the dealer install these shitty PPF like handle guards and not like a windshield protection on the windshield? If they were going to do something, it would have been like because it has like a
Yeah.
giant camera system. So when you go to actually get the windshield replaced, if you were to pay for it, the windshield's like 800, but they charge you like 300 or 400 to calibrate it.
Yeah.
So
Minimum.
the comparison then
Minimum.
is how much usually retail if they would have covered the windshield. $500, you think,
Yeah.
on an
Yeah, about that.
SUV?
Depending. Yeah, it depends. It really depends on like the curvature of the windshield. I'd say that's probably average for an SUV.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be a little bit more. Like the Audi Q5 Sport, for instance, that windshield's kind of crappy. It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to install on. But like a Chevy Equinox, that's the SUV, right? Oh my God, I should know these
Yes.
things. Chevy Equinox, that one's a little bit easier to install on, so that one might be a little bit less.
Cool.
So yeah. Sorry
Well,
if you can hear my dog drinking water in the background, by the way, guys. Sorry about that.
I don't think it's coming through. You're good.
Okay, sweet.
Um, so jumping back around to WFR,
Hmm.
what I remember with like when you joined WFR core leader group, I remember you immediately started posting quotes every day, every few
Yeah,
days, once a week, whatever it is, every Monday. Seems like
yeah.
often.
I think I started off every day with WFR, and then Rick had mentioned that it'd be cool, something cool to do in the actual group. I do a motivational quote with our ExoShield team every morning. Motivational, inspirational, real. Sometimes the quotes are a bit of a reality check, but I think it's just like it's something that I've done. I used to sell cell phones, and it's something that I did there too with my team every morning. I just think it's a fun little way to start. I don't know,
Hmm.
just like a little bit of inspiration, especially during times like this. So
And then you posted earlier in the week, I think it was, like what being part of Window Film Revolution means to you. And I
yeah.
just want to touch on that because, there's obviously like everybody has different thing that it means to them. And you,
Hmm.
I think, said it really well. So,
Yeah. So Window Film Revolution to me, so I've only been in this industry, it'll be 3 years in January. So obviously I didn't come from cars. I mean, my cousins are into cars, and I would say like I've been into them for most of my life, but I didn't work in the industry. And when I first started, like my colleague attender is amazing, and he, showed me the ropes and brought me through so much. And my CEO was amazing, Kanjan, and my other colleague Kian. Like they were all so welcoming. But I found that I really started to understand all of the aspects of the industry when I got into Window Film Revolution and really started like reading all of the posts. I guess I remember the day that I got into the group, I spent like after work that day and for a lot of days after, I would just read through everything that I could. Because I think that even though I don't sell paint protection film and window tint and coatings and stuff, I think it's really important to understand how ExoShield fit into that business. And there was many different times where I would, I would ask a question or I would, I'd comment on something, and I was always like, it was never like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It was always like, oh yeah, I can totally help you out with that. Or, I've met a lot of people through it as well. So Dean Mitchell, Garrett, Rick, yourself, Lauren from ExoShield. And all of those relationships have brought me knowledge. And I couldn't be the rep that I am today, which I think I'm a pretty good one. I couldn't be that like level that I am today so quickly without the community, right?
And that's one of the big complaints of people is when they get a rep that is not knowledgeable and does not know what they're talking about. So that's
yeah, and like there's definitely times when I don't, trust me. Like there's definitely times where I'm the one asking questions, or I'm saying, you know what, I don't know how to answer this right now, but I'm going to utilize this community and this network that I've become involved with to get an answer for you. And I think that's something that's really important. And then like from the ExoShield, oh my gosh, from the ExoShield side being sponsors, like it's unbelievable how much value we've gained. Not only have we gained partners, which obviously that's important, growing the network, but we started to understand more about marketing. We started to understand more about our customer, which is like not only just like the B2B, because we're business to consumer, but the C as well. So that end customer, like what kind of issues are other people experiencing with their end customers? Maybe not necessarily in windshield film, but in window tint or paint protection film. Like why are end customers upset? What areas are people seeing a lot of business? What are they not seeing? When are they not seeing a lot of business? Like those kind of analytics are so important, and it is so hard to get those. And like, again, anybody that does ad spend knows that. So to be able to like understand more about it, but also be involved in this awesome community is like, it's you can't put a price on it, straight up.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that what we're doing with Window Film Revolution is something that the industry needed. I think that like, just getting together for SEMA or WFCT or any of the other, the Expelled Dealer Conference or any other things that go on, it's obviously amazing to see people, but it's even more amazing if you've been able to like cultivate those relationships and grow those relationships because you also see each other virtually, right? And you build those relationships virtually. And then obviously there's like the benefit of social selling, which that's a whole different like ball game basically. Like we could talk about that for hours, but it's so cool. Like I really think that it's going to be big. Like even just the idea of having like a website that consumers can go to and just learn more about this industry. And like, I think that will bring so much more respect to it too. Like people aren't just going to think like, oh, this guy sticks stuff on my windshield or my windows or like the body of my car. Like, no, it's a craft. It's way harder than that. We all know that.
Right. I mean, everybody says like, if they go like, how do you get customers? How do you upsell customers? How do you make money and so on? Like part of that is typically educating your customer. So anything that can educate the customer before they come to you, they're more likely to stumble upon you than to be satisfied with the first shop they come across. They're going to have a reason to do more due diligence.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I think something that, I've seen a lot, and you just commented on it, but I've seen a lot in the group, is people in this industry really take pride in what they do, and they treat their businesses like solid professions, which they should. And it's frustrating when there's somebody that, you've spent 10, 15, 20 years maybe, or even less than that, perfecting your craft, and you do really good work and you take care of your customers. Then you get a price shopper that all they care about is the, $99 tint job. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to tell you why this is better, but wouldn't it be great if there was also this other service or this other website where you can see that there are lots of other people out there that have my level of quality, that have my level of dedication and care. And that's why, like, that should be like, it should solidify the decision of the customer to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy's not ripping me off. Like, there's a reason why this film is more expensive. There's a reason why, it takes a little bit longer to install, or there's a reason why it has this crazy warranty to it. It's because the company stands behind it, but so does the shop, right? So yeah, it's interesting. It's existent in other trades too, like
Very much.
like there's a right, like concrete has it,
Everything,
roofing
even like
has it,
vinyl wraps, everything, like everything.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's cool. Like I'm excited to finally see it in this industry.
Cool. Something you just touched on was SEMA, and SEMA's obviously
Yeah.
canceled, and you all were going to be a part of SEMA. Is that a big problem for you?
Yeah, okay. So, again with flexing. So, yes, so we were going to be a part of SEMA. We're actually in SEMA Launchpad, which is this really cool program that recognizes innovation. So I'm going to shamelessly plug this. If you guys want to vote for ExoShield for SEMA Launchpad, you can find the link on my Facebook. You can also just go to SEMA Launchpad and watch our video there and vote for us. You can listen to my CEO Kanjan and CEO and co-founder Kanjan talk about ExoShield and why it's important. So listen to the video, watch it. If you think it's something that deserves a vote, we would love it. SEMA for us, like I haven't heard anything about them switching to virtual. If they do switch to a virtual one, we're prepared for it. So we'll definitely be doing something really cool. If they don't switch to a virtual one, we're probably still going to do something really cool, because I think like that time of year is kind of when things start to slow down. Maybe not this year, but it's a time where people really look to see what companies are doing. So
Yeah,
it's a good time to do something fun.
interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like if, like you said, if there was some sort of virtual event, if it went really well, it really might squash future physical events. Because like,
Yeah.
and like let me give you
Yeah.
another example. If you all said like there's no SEMA, we were counting on SEMA, we're going to do our own thing because there's no SEMA. And like every company is, not everyone, but a lot of them are probably thinking that like we have to now do something. If somebody's
Yeah.
super successful at that this year,
Yeah.
or they're
Yeah.
trying to make some progress next year, they're going to go, are we going to spend all that money on SEMA, or what if we just dump that in to further our own thing? And like I feel like this cancellation of this event could have a bigger domino effect on the value
Yeah.
of these events.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I think everybody that attends SEMA kind of thinks that sometimes, though. Like, I think like it's really expensive as a
Yeah.
manufacturer supplier to attend SEMA, and don't get me wrong, there's insane value in it. Like, we went last year and we met so many people. It was fantastic. Um, but let's say $15,000 to attend SEMA, and that's like at the low end.
At the
Think
very
about how
low end.
much,
Yeah.
like the very low end. Like, think about how much you could do with $15,000 for your network. Like marketing, that's a big one. Sales support, visiting your shops. Like, that's huge. Sorry, 1 second. My dog has something he shouldn't have. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Thanks. All
So
right.
I'll just throw this in here real quick as just a side note. I don't know what happened today, but this video, it says it's live, but like I don't think it's live. It's definitely recorded. It'll definitely be out there for people to watch, but like something's going on with this today. But it's definitely recording. It's definitely clear. It says it's live. It's definitely recording, but yeah, we have no comments. And anyway, I think it's not actually live for some reason. So anyway, back to the beauty of a virtual event. Um,
Hmm.
Back to what you're saying, like, yeah, I mean, 15,000 is really on the low end. If you have a team of, let's say, 3 or 4 people, and if you're talking just like flights and hotel alone and food, you're in the thousands of dollars just with the flights, hotel, and food. If you look at like
Yeah.
booth rentals, and I'm sure you know, but I'm just to give people ideas, like, we looked at booths for like the window film convention this year, like not the space, but the
Yeah.
actual physical booth. And as dingy as those things can look, like if you go to rent one, you're talking like the price of a brand new car just to rent it for like 3 days. So that's what's out there.
What?
So like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like to build it, you can be talking the price of a mid-sized luxury car. So I'm just saying, like there is
Yeah.
a lot of money going in there, and I kind of feel like it's like a mall in the sense, like yeah, it was worth doing, and it is worth doing. But if you get that break, you go, wait a second now, like maybe this was overpriced a little bit, and like we gotta
Yeah.
think about this. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Just checked, not live.
No, I mean, I
Who
got a
knows?
text message asking me if everything was okay, so I was pretty sure about it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Definitely not
Yeah, I
live,
don't
but
know. I don't know.
yeah, it'll get
Um,
watched after, so we're all good as long as it doesn't
yeah,
yeah. So
that's okay.
yeah, I mean, I think like a live event, a virtual event is something that like I have my own sight set on. I just believe in. I hope
Yeah.
somebody else does it because then I don't have to do it. I could just be a part of theirs, like somebody that includes other vendors. But it's going to happen
Hmm.
regardless, and I hope you guys push it like to however great you can make it.
Yeah.
I feel like November is right around the corner. It's going to come up quick.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because like I was thinking the other day, I was like, for how slow for how slow this year seems, like it's like, oh my gosh, like when is 2020 gonna end? I cannot believe it's September next week.
Right. It's and then that's basically Halloween, and it's basically Thanksgiving, and then that's
And then
almost
it's
New
like,
Year's, and then you're back to
yeah,
February.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what level of Jumanji we're on next.
I know. I know. Between the aliens and the bears with nunchucks, I'm really thinking that something like I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on, but
Remember when Tiger King was the most normal part of 2020?
I know. We're like, thank God for that show to keep us busy for this 7 days we have to be inside. You know?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, so funny. We're the same as you. Like, we're really banking on a virtual experience. I think, obviously, CES has gone virtual this year, which
Hmm.
I'm pretty excited for that. I think that's going to be really cool. Um, to me, it would only make sense that SEMA would go virtual. So I don't know. I think the thing with SEMA that I guess CES that might be interesting is there's so many different time zones. There's people from all over the world, right?
Right.
So how do you sync it up? Do you do it like in different waves? Do you do like what do you do, right? Different
The
times?
Yeah, the foundation of it that I think is like, yeah, it could totally be like whenever you're tuning in, it's going from like vendor to vendor. So you're like, instead of
Yeah.
like find us at our booth, it's like see us at this day and time, right? But
Hmm.
like the thing is, I guess where I go, my mind goes is like you said, most shops don't have good internet. Most companies like don't have like they're not ready with like cameras ready to go like live and produce video. So like just that
Hmm.
alone, I feel like if SEMA said like let's look at all our sponsors and then go like, all right, let's get them all online. Like I don't think they have a chance, not even a chance in two
Yeah.
months to get people with even just a webcam and internet. It would just be a shit show. I think like
Yeah, for sure. I guess like the way that we were thinking of it, like we have an on like our digital marketing manager Jesse, who shot he shot ExoShield Academy, he shot our most recent commercial thing. No, my dog. Oh my goodness. He does a bunch of like content for us. Like he gets set up right away. We've got all that stuff on
right,
lock, right?
right.
But I never even thought about that. Like I guess there's still a lot of face to face in this industry, and that kind of like camera equipment is so expensive too, right?
Well,
Um,
so like I think I look pretty crispy clear right now. Not to you, but to the general public, because
yeah,
you're actually seeing me on a different camera than I'm using for. But like what I'm saying is, it is
yeah,
expensive if you, depending on what you want to do with it. But I feel like there is a very
yeah,
budget way to do it as well. You can buy a
exactly.
$150 webcam. You can hook it up to your computer. It'll be crystal clear. You buy a $50 mic, and you get a good internet service and $80 lights. So for under $500,
Yeah.
your shop could be streaming really well. But like you said, if you're going
Yeah.
into the professional level, that's like an
Yeah.
endless hole of money. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but
Yeah.
but I think at the end of the day, whether you get it because you want to do marketing or you want to do an event or whatever, like I think every business needs to get with it because it's another way to communicate with your customers.
Yep. Yep.
That's it.
Especially like, I mean, I don't want to like plug millennials here, but I mean, like it's a huge part of our industry now.
Yeah.
Even just as simple as like I noticed more often than not when when I'm initially talking to like leads or prospects, or when I'm building relationships with my like our shops, my clients, our partners, whatever. I'm asking them like, how do you want to be kept? Like, how do you want me to keep in contact with you? Do you want email? Do you want phone? Or do you want text? Like,
Text.
or DM,
Yeah.
text. Text
Text.
wins every single time. And it's really like it because we're so busy, and because the things that we're doing are taking up so much time, and we're expected to do so much in a day. The inconvenience of having to chisel out time to do something face to face is not like it's like it sounds like, oh my god, you can't make time for me, but
Yep.
it's not efficient. Like that's just how it is.
No,
It's not
being on the
efficient.
phone is not efficient at all. Face to face isn't. I know you're saying face, but I'm going to like, I can't even be on the phone very much because like I can only do one thing at a time when I'm on the phone, which is talk to the person I'm on the phone with. And like,
Yeah,
I don't know. As I'm getting older, I'm looking at this time like a big time, like a stopwatch, and I'm like, I don't know. I
yeah,
agree with you 1,000%. You got to get with text, and that's what it is.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's and I don't think like obviously there's some times where I've been having a conversation with somebody even in my personal life, and I'm like, I'm just gonna call you. Like
For sure,
this
for
is too
sure.
much
Calls
for
have
text.
their place.
But the simple things of like someone texting me like send exo if they needed another roll of film or something, they don't need to call me for that. They can
No.
just literally send me a text message and I'll get it packed up and sent out, right? Or fulfill it, whatever. So it's interesting. I really do truly believe that this is the year that people start to really dig in and understand the value of online. Like things like Shopify's stocks went up like 300% or
Shopify has been going
something.
straight up for the last couple of years. There's no, if you're selling
Yeah.
anything and it's not on Shopify, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Straight up.
It is.
100%. Um,
Still
so yeah,
non-believers out
it's
there for some reason.
pardon?
There's still non-believers out there, but
Yeah.
uh,
Shopify pays amazing. It just saves it.
yeah,
Then I just get a code to my phone, bam, done. It's also dangerous, but but I'm like, I don't need to remember my credit card number. It's just saved. It's like Amazon.
yep, it is.
Oof.
You can pay just like Amazon. You can allow people to pay you just like Amazon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. I can't believe we're not live.
it's okay. There's a first time for everything. Um,
Yeah. It's probably me. I'm probably bad luck, Eric. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I said something like comments not available for just friends mode. I didn't know I went into just friends mode, but
Yeah. No, it's
whatever.
okay. Whatever.
But yeah, I know we had some time constraints tonight, so we could wrap it up, and I'll get this uploaded, and I just want to thank you for taking time to do this, and
Yeah.
I really am going to be watching out for anything you guys do virtually. I hope it's awesome because it sounds like you're
Yes,
well
I'm so
equipped to
excited.
pull it. It sounds like you're well equipped to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we're very innovative people. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening over the next, let's say, till the end of the year and going into next year.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff we're releasing. I'm really excited for it. So, I mean, stay tuned. Just kidding. You'll see about it on Window Film Revolution.
Cool. Well, I look forward to it, and thanks
Yeah.
for nobody for watching live because we weren't live, but thanks for everybody for watching afterwards, and thanks again for doing
Yeah.
this tonight, Ashley, or Marissa Ashley,
Yeah.
rather. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you so much, Eric. Bye.
Thanks.